If you love surprises, this video is especially made for you. Have you ever seen something that looked so remarkable to you, but it turned out to be something different? Did your eyes trick you? This is what our story today is about. Tourists think they're approaching a flock of sheep. They were so wrong. What could that have been anyway? Can you guess? Stay tuned, for we are about to tell you the whole story. But before we start, please make sure to subscribe to Did You Know and hit the bell so you never miss an upload from us. Also, leave a like right now. A group of tourists were on an adventure in the Wrangel Island Nature Reserve, which is located in the Arctic. On approaching a hillside, they thought they saw a flock of sheep on the hillside. But when they got closer, they realized that they were totally wrong, and what they saw was beyond their expectations. You too would not imagine what they saw instead of the sheep. While sailing close to the island, which is above the vessel Akademik Shikalski, they thought they saw some grazing sheep, but their assumptions were not correct by any means. The expedition guide, Rodney Russ, said what they saw was something that would always remain as a good memory. They were very lucky to witness something like that, which perhaps happens only once in a lifetime, only if the person was really that lucky. Russ added that he already knew that it was very impossible to find sheep in the Arctic island in the Chukchi Sea above Siberia, Russia, which is a remote place and very cold, almost freezing in other words. It did not make sense to him at all. He continued that they approached the island to get a clearer view of what they saw in front of them on the hillside. And what he said that it was incredible and very hard to describe because words are not enough to express how amazing they felt. When they finally used their binoculars to know what those creatures were, they found out they were a group of polar bears. There were almost about 200 polar bears gathering on the hillside. Of course, that was something unusual and awesome. What an experience! Don't you wish you were with them? They did not think for a moment that those creatures would be polar bears, because polar bears are solitary animals. But those ones on the hillside were too many. It was the first time to capture the footing of this great big gathering of polar bears. Russ said he never saw this big number of polar bears congregating on a hillside. This is why he thought it was a really priceless experience. Climatic changes might be the reason why those polar bears gathered on this island. What is more, according to Mother Nature Network, Wrangel Island is a shelter to many polar bears, especially mothers, since the island provides the suitable atmosphere in winter to raise their babies. About 400 female polar bears could dance on that island during the time of rearing their young. However, the outlet explains that the number of polar bears on the island have been continuously increasing because the ice packs have melted and it left the polar bears restricted to the island. Moreover, this big group of polar bears could also represent some kind of distress. Fortunately, the mystery was unraveled very quickly after some investigations were carried out. What brought those 200 polar bears together? Can you guess? It is food what made them all gather. I think this really makes sense. Food makes people gather. They were lured by a scent of a whale carcass, according to Adventure Sport Network. The whale carcass was washed away by the waves till it reached the shore and provided the polar bears with an easy dinner. That was almost like a feast to them. They did not even have to fight one another to feed, since there was food for everyone to indulge in. That was a very interesting thing to see, and really rare and very unique to detect. How lucky a person is when he or she gets the opportunity to see an overwhelming incident. Dear adventurers, have you ever gone on an adventure? And have you come across something that took your breath away? What creatures have made you surprised when you saw them, and where did you see them? Tell us in the comments section below. What do you think about the unusual sight of the polar bears gathering? Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more amazing stories and overwhelming videos.